Hi, super joyful and excited to be here with you for some plug in and power up and rising consciousness. So we've got a number of things going on. We've got our rising consciousness show and we've got our plug in and power up, which I've been doing for over 5 years now, which just blows my mind to think about doing live video for over 5 years. And so I love connecting with you guys. Again, my name is Tara Antler. I am an intuitive healer and a soul coach. I love helping people connect to their higher self, clear out all that ick and the stick, the stuff that no longer serves us, create a life that feels really beautiful, really awesome, really grounded. And today we are going to be talking about how to stay the course when it comes to creation and creating when many things are moving. So I tuned into Spirit and I said, okay, guys, what do you want to talk about today? And they said, oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. There's so many moving parts happening on the planet right now. Where do we go, right? And so I said, let's just channel a message. Let's see what wants to come through. Hopefully the internet is steady. If you're here live with me, let me know in the comments that you can hear me clearly. And for those of you that are watching the replay, if you have any questions as I move through the content, this is probably going to be about 10 minutes. Let me know in the comments and I will do my best to answer those questions or pull them into another episode. So without further ado, there's a lot happening on the planet. There has been, right? There has been this whole year. I feel like 2020 has been this incredible, expanding, churning, topsy-turvy, blowing everything apart experience. And one of the things that I was really aware of today is how do you still create when the world is turning and churning and moving and it feels like there's a lot of uncertainty and people are unsure as to where to ground or where to put their focus or where to put their feet. How do you still create? Because I don't know about you, but for me, I always have a lot of ideas. I always have a lot of things that I want to create on this planet. And this is what I've been hearing out there a lot from people is how do I still create when everything seems really uncertain, when everything feels a little scary, when everything feels a little, oh gosh, I don't know what's going to happen next. And here's the thing. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop creating. Don't stop that creational flow because we are creating all the time. And it's not a matter of, do we stop creating? You're creating all the time. You are creating all the time. It's a matter of what are you creating and where are you creating from? See, many people right now are creating from a space of fear. Ooh, maybe I should do this because of this is what's happening. Or maybe based on, where the world's going to be in the next 2 months or 6 months or 12 months or 24 months, maybe I'll focus here. What happens when we start creating that way is we're allowing the external circumstances to dictate and shape how and what we create and what directional flow we go in. And because we're creating all the time, you're creating 100% of the time. It's not a matter of if you are creating, you are creating. It's a matter of what you are creating based on what you're focused on. So your thoughts, your emotions, your conversations, your internal dialogue, who you're conversing with, what are you focused on? What are you paying attention to? And so you don't stop creating. If somebody says, oh, I still wanted to travel or I want to create this or I want to live this way, but I don't know where the world's going to be in the next however many months, or I don't know what's happening and this has been blown apart and this has been blown apart and this seems uncertain and this seems unstable. Still create anyways, because your individual personal dreams of what you want to create is directly tied to and connected to the collective of what we're getting ready to step into. And here's the cool thing that's happening right now. I've been saying this for months and months and months. We are upgrading as a human being. We are upgrading our spirituality. The soul is immense. The soul is ever evolving, ever growing. We are ever evolving, ever growing our earthly human experience as well. And there's a lot of talk out there right now that we are moving from this 3-dimensional experience into 5-dimensional. Now, what does that really mean? What Spirit has always told me is that it's not that you're going to exit your body. You're here to have this human earthly 3D experience. And we're here to expand and constantly evolve and accelerate who and what we are, become more light body, become more vibrational in our experience so that we can ground all that high vibrational energy in this human form. And so what's happening is we're becoming more light body. We're becoming more crystalline in nature. So what does that mean? Becoming more light body, more crystalline in nature means we get to accelerate our creations even faster. We get to manifest even quicker, which is awesome. And it's awesome if you are creating from a place that feels really good. Not so awesome if you're creating from fear, creating from worry, creating from stress, creating from strain, creating from reaction or reactivity. So this is where it's really important for each of us to dial into ourselves, tune into ourselves, know ourselves, heal and transform and transmute ourselves, and start to really consciously send our thoughts in the direction that we want to go. Consciously pay attention to the conversations that we're having. Consciously pay attention to what we're feeding and what we're paying attention to in general. Because if we're creating all the time, again, it's not a matter of if you're going to create, you're creating all the time. It's a matter of what you're going to create and where you're creating from. And this is a really big distinction and a really big, awesome conversation. So again, when everything's moving out there and there's many moving parts and there's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of question, that's okay. The question is okay. Just know that those external systems, those external things, foundational pieces that are in our world, the constructs that we've all been living in, the world that we've been living in, that world has to fall in order for the next generation of our creations to unfold. So I'll back that up a bit. We all have these bigger, higher vibrational, higher thoughts, higher dreams, things that we want to create, things that we want to live into. For me, for example, I have always had this feeling, this deep, deep feeling in myself that I've always wanted to experience what it truly means to live heaven or bliss on earth, where everyone has more than enough air, more than enough water, more than enough, like in clean air and water, more than enough food, more than enough resources, more than enough love, healthy relationships, more than enough abundance, where we truly are creating and experiencing bliss on earth. Now, in order to experience that, could we create that within these old constructs, right? Old systems on the planet that have been working pretty much against us, keeping us playing small, keeping us playing mediocre, keeping us in the herd mentality, keeping us in, and not in a positive way. I'm not talking about herd, immunity. I'm talking about just being like, okay, well, let me follow along. Let me be a good citizen because that's what I'm taught to do. I'm talking about these systems that have kind of kept us in this band. In order for us to truly be free and truly live an exceptional earth experience, these old systems and constructs have to shake up and fall apart. They have to break up and fall away. And that's what we're in right now. So the old is demolishing, the old is floating away. And yes, it seems a little uncertain. Yes, it seems a little scary. And yes, it seems a little like, whoo, what is going on? Oh my gosh, I've had my moments of this. Whoo, what is going on? Like, what is next, right? And deep inside my core, if I really come back to myself, deep inside my core, I feel in my being, I know in my being that what we are stepping into and what we are collectively creating or co-creating is going to be amazing. And it already is amazing. I can feel it. I know it. And I hold so steady in that in myself that becomes unshakable. And this is the key. You become unshakable within yourself, regardless of what's moving and changing out there. Let the old fall away. Let the systems fall away. Let the idols that you have like praised and paid attention to, that you're like all of a sudden shocked and you're like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Whoa, I didn't think that person was involved in human trafficking, right? Whoa, I didn't realize they were involved in that. Whoa, I didn't realize. Okay, so let's let all of that fall. We'll go through the shock factor together. We let all of that fall. And internally, you stay steady. Internally, you stay anchored in here. You still stay focused on what am I paying attention to? Where are my thoughts going? Where are my creational conversations going? Where are my thoughts? Where are my emotions? Where am I going? What am I focused on? What am I sending out as a vibration, as a thought form? What am I creating and where am I creating from? Because if out there, okay, so if all that's crumbling and falling, in order for us to truly step into this higher vibrational 5D and a 3D body, a higher vibrational experience of heaven on earth, whatever that looks like for each of you, there has to be a vibrational match out there. There has to be a new system or lack thereof out there that supports the individual creation. So the whole, the collective has to support the individual, and the individual has to support the whole. So that's what we're in right now. You, me, us, we are all collectively co-creating a new vibrational construct that can house and support what we all are feeling inside. So think about for yourself, if I could live the most exceptional earth experience, what would that be? What would that look like? And then let me dial in really strong in here. Let me stay steady in here. Let me ground into my spiritual practice. Let me focus inward. Let me connect to my conscious community. Let me stay really steady in here. Let me stay the course, no matter what. Trusting and knowing that as I do so, I'm creating a vibrational field around myself that will help to support and co-create this new field out there. The old world wouldn't have supported the new creations that many of us are wanting to step into. Hence the reason why it has to fall. We all collectively got to the place to say, you know what? I think the way we've been living on planet Earth now, it's kind of not working anymore. It's kind of old and outdated. It's like an old pair of shoes that are like falling apart at the seams, but you keep wanting to put them on because you're so comfortable with those shoes and you really just don't want to let them go, but they're falling apart at the seams. Doesn't matter how many times you try to fix them. Doesn't matter how many times you try to glue the shoe back together or take them to the person who fixes, cobbler who fixes your shoes. Doesn't matter. They keep falling apart. That's what we're in right now. So let the old fall away. Let the old constructs fall apart. Go through the shock factor that you need to, go through the emotions that you need to, and stay steady in here. Still create in here. Even if you're uncertain as to where life is going to look in 6 months from now or a year from now or 2 years from now. Don't listen to all that stuff out there either. There's a lot of noise out there. People keep saying, I think we're going to be in this for another 2 years. Who says we're going to be in this another 2 years? Are you deciding my fate and future? I decide my fate and future. So who's deciding yours? Who's deciding your fate and future? You're going to keep putting it in the hands of somebody else to decide, or are you going to take the reins of your life, invoke and power up your own creational ability, and really become and remember who and what you truly are as this amazing creator on this planet? So I love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to get going. If you have any questions, post them. I will answer all of them. If you love this content, feel free to share it with your community. Have such a beautiful evening. I love you. I love you. I love you. Stay in the light. Stay focused on what you're creating and where you're creating from. And you're going to see, we're going to collectively rise up together and we're going to experience something that's so beautiful that I'm already celebrating it. I'm already standing in this place of celebrating you and your creations, my creations, and our creations as a collective. Have a great night. Bye.